memories of Thunderbolt Patterson? And a lot of people say that Dusty Rhodes kind of stole his gimmick. Do you agree with that, or?
I don't. Dusty was getting his own style. T-Boat in the early '70s and mid '70s and that. He was down in Georgia. T-Boat never came out of Georgia. Okay, he did Georgia and Florida. He never traveled the country. He was just a Southern star. So he was just made for Georgia. The bottom line.
Right. Did the Dusty Rhodes that worked in Georgia territory was any different from the Dusty that from Florida and also in Japan? Now, I guess at this time he had more power and he was way more over. Did he change? Did he get a big ego?
Dusty had a hell of an ego, and like I said before, I grew up with Dusty and Dick when they first started, and we were good friends, and we stayed friends for a while. But then I didn't see eye to eye with Dusty. We had differences, and I basically told him to go to hell, and I stopped working for him. I was working for Ole when Ole had his organization in Georgia. And Dusty came out of the Carolinas when Crockett decided to buy Ole out.
Right.
And we had a big meeting at the studio, and Dusty came in and he started pointing fingers. You can stay, you can stay, you can stay. He pointed at me, you can stay. And then he told me I had to wrestle somebody. I said, Dad, I ain't staying. I'm out of here. I don't even want you. And I walked out.
Who did he want you to work?
Magnum. And I didn't like him. He had an ego that was... He thought his shit didn't stink, and I didn't care for him.
Huh. Plus, he was in for the big push. I know.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
And it didn't bother me with people getting a big push. It really didn't. But when you think you're better than other guys, and you keep shoving it, eventually someone's going to shove back. And I just.
Did Dusty try to keep you in the company because you guys were friends, or?
No, he respected me. When I said no, no meant no.
Right.
I'm a man of my word. If I say I'll wrestle for you, I wrestle. If I say I'm going to be there, I'll be there. I told Dusty I don't want nothing to do with you, and I left.
What are your memories of going over to Japan? Did you work for Inoki or Baba?
Baba.
Okay.
Giant Baba. That was a fabulous experience. I mean, Japan has rings that are as hard as concrete, and I learned the first night not to grab a headlock, because everything out of a headlock, I got suplexed. I got suplexed so many times, I was goofy.
Huh.
And their wrestlers there, they learn before they can even walk, I think they learn how to wrestle. They're great athletes, and Baba treated me real well. I had a great time. I had Dick Murdoch and Dusty Rhodes. Buddy Rose was there with me. And we had a good crew, and we had a good time. We were on a working tour. Working tours were 5 weeks where you worked 4 and had 1 week off.
Wow.
And it was a great experience. I was 22 years old when I went there first time, and it was phenomenal. I mean, I loved it.
Was it hard to adjust to the lifestyle of Japanese culture?
Yeah, Buddy and I, we couldn't get into their food, so we found a McDonald's and a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's what we lived on. And if we got up early in the morning, you had to get up 5 to 8. You could get a good American breakfast, eggs and cereal and stuff like that, or otherwise, fish, and we went down to McDonald's.
Right. Did you like the, I guess in Japanese, the wrestling, it's a lot stiffer than the American style. Did you take a lot to get used to, or?
No, once you learn that they're very, very, very strict, and American boys would go over there and they would sit in the bleachers and watch them. They would run up and down the steps and do Hindu squats and work out, and they were dead serious. They had to do that every day for 2 hours before they wrestled. So when you got in the ring, you knew you were going to have a good match.
Right.
And you learned well. You learned solid and stiff is very good. A lot of guys don't like it, but I love it and I thrive on it.
Right.
That's what I do today, and that's what I did all my life. I really didn't care if I hit you as hard as I could. If you didn't like it, hit me back as hard, because I love it. The harder you hit me, the harder I hit you. And I learned that from Johnny Valentine. Valentine was a great mentor to me. He taught me a lot of stuff in the ring. He taught me how to count to 10 and pray. He would raise that arm up in the air, and you count to 10, and the minute you hit 10, that arm would come down, and he knocked your dick stiff. And he would knock me down on the floor, and I'd get up, and he'd say, hit me. And I hit him, and hit me harder. My hand would have welts on it for trying to hurt this guy. But every time I worked with him and I loved it, count to 10 and pray. And he clocked. He taught me how to hit, and he taught me how to hurt people. Not hurt them, but be solid. And he was a guy that was a mat man. He didn't take bumps. He wrestled in the mat, and he was fabulous. He was a great teacher.
A lot of people say that about him. So.
Oh, he was. He was a great ribber too.
Any good ribs?
Oh, he would piss in your bag. He would put shit in your bag, and Valentine put. There was a guy named Jay York, the Alaskan, and we were in Macon, Georgia one night, and Valentine took out he had the asthma, so he had a spray in his for breathing, and he put lighter fluid in it, and Alaskan went ballistic. He pulled out a shotgun, blew his bag all apart, and cops thought, who got shot? No problem, we're just playing a game in the dressing room. So they didn't do anything, but he never put fluid in there again either.
Wow.
But yeah, he was good for that.
Huh. Well, you talked about touring Japan with Dusty and Dick Murdoch. What are your memories of Captain Redneck?
Oh, Dusty and Dick, they came to Minneapolis in the early 70s, and I would drive them all around. They'd bring the car and I'd leave it at my house, and then they would fly out. They were crazy. Those guys were crazy. In Minneapolis, the old Minneapolis Auditorium was 3 blocks from the nightclub area. And they brought a jackass into a bar one night. And it was unbelievable. I mean, the fights they had in the bar. The owner would call the police. The police said, who's fighting? It's Murdoch and Rhodes against Race and Hennig. Huh. And they said, well, let us know when it's over. You couldn't buy the publicity that they got. And they would pay for the damages. Vern pay all the bills for the damage. But they were crazy. They did some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. You also got to work in the Georgia territory. What are your memories working in Georgia?
I loved Georgia. I was down south almost all my life. And Georgia was just a great territory. We had so many talented guys down there. It was great because I could wrestle 12 times a week. And I would learn. I mean, it was a hectic schedule. On Saturday, you would wrestle 6 times on Saturday. Do 3 tapes at Channel 17 when it just started. And then you get in your car and drive to Columbus for Fred Ward, do 2-3 tapes there, get in your car and either go to Carrollton or Griffin or another spot down and do your show that night. So it really whooped you.
In Georgia, you teamed up with Bobby Shane. What are your memories of teaming up with Bobby?
Bobby was just a great guy. He had so much knowledge and at his young age, and he was just phenomenal at everything he did. And you couldn't help but learn being with him or riding with him. But when you were in the ring, you just saw pure. It was just perfection. He loved to do everything right and have a good time doing it.
You also had some matches that were pretty standoutish with Alexis Smirnoff. What are your memories working with Alexis?
I did all the work. There was not a lot. I would rather just have him stand in the corner because I had to do all the work. He was very green. He really didn't know a lot. He was just learning. So I just took the bull by the horn and just did the best I could do.
Who was booking down there, Ole or George Scott, or
in
Georgia when you were there?
In Georgia, they had a few different guys in Georgia. It wasn't Ole and Gene. They had Race was in there. You had Dusty in there, and they had a couple other guys in there. I can't remember, but they had a good team. They had a lot of talented guys. Back then, all the minds would come together because wrestlers are the greatest mind thinkers in the world, in the business. That's how it was back then. And what we could come up with is from experience in the ring, and that's what we produced.
Memories of Ole Anderson?
I grew up in Minneapolis with Ole, and he is a prankster. He could talk your head off, and then he could tie you up and spit you out and make you have fun getting hurt. Huh. And Ole was always quick with the mouth and smart, and he could back it up because he could tie you up and hurt you so fast, and you would learn. I wrestled him and Gene 100 times, and they were great.
A lot of people say Ole's kind of bitter. Do you find that to be true?
I wouldn't say bitter. When you're in the business for 30, 35 years and you get sick and you stop working, you get bitter because you can't do what you used to do, and some people don't want to bring you back and use you. And when Gene died, Ole, bottom line was Ole and Gene together were great. And Ole was great in the early years as a single, but after Gene died, Ole just was a single, and it was hard for him.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.